Yeah, I'm absolutely delighted and buzzing that we managed to get the job done tonight. I think that was came into this game understanding the dynamics of it and had a full focus on trying to get a result like we have done throughout this year. I'm just delighted for everyone at the football club really. So set out on a mission this year when I first came in, which was to get promoted and get back to the Premier League. And I think the journey has been a classic journey of the bumps in the road, the windy roads, but we've stuck together. We've built something here that has managed to get us a success which we thoroughly deserve, really.
I'd say it's quite emotional for you, isn't it? Did that say it's quite emotional for you?
Yeah, it is emotional for me, really. I suppose the main emotion comes out because of the pride I have in the group. Feels very different to the last time I've done it 2 times, and not just the group, the whole football club really. This was a football club I walked into, and from the minute I walked in, there was a warmth, there was a love, there was a support, and a pure gave me energy really. Sometimes as a coach that you're on your own, it's a bit of a lonely place really, and I've always felt the support and the real love of the group. Coincides that with a group of players really that, you know, this was there were some bumps in the road early on, and there's no denying that, and I thought that brought us together even more. We committed even more, we showed a desire and a passion even more, and I'm absolutely buzzing with some of them. There's some of them boys what I hope they understand my constant message, which has been over the course of this year, which is hard work, commitment, dedicate everything we do to get to the end point of trying to be successful. Been involved in this game a long time, and in life in general really, and sometimes I get, certainly in football, there's less of these moments than what there is on the other side of it really. So I think I'm just probably a bit relieved and buzzing that all the words I've said over the course of this year is justified, that we can reach this moment tonight, that they understand it really.
Yeah, you mentioned those up and downs. When I speak to you in that press room at Sunderland back in August, could you imagine this what will be at the end of the season?
Like, I always imagined it, I always had belief, but yeah, for sure this was there were some tough times, and players leaving, players didn't want to be here, exiting the door, 12 hours or not wanting to be at the football club 12 hours before a game. These were the things and these were the scenarios that we was going through, and we needed to react quick to that. Players coming in, wholesale changes, we needed to unite a group of men together, which was on a sole mission this year to do what we've done. And to do that, like I said, there was a lot of hard work, there was some adversity, there were some bumps, there was some criticism. It's all part of the journey, and that criticism probably brought us stronger together, and that was probably a blessing, to be quite honest with you, looking back, and it's got us to this point.
Just on today's game in particular, how did you see it? Was it sort of getting the job done again?
It was getting the job done, Matt, for sure. Look, this was always going to be a game that was going to be a bit edgy. I thought first half we was very good. Sheffield probably came here with an understanding they need to win the game, and I think you probably could see that from the lineup really. A lot of attacking players on the field. They were going to put it in areas which were going to try and stress us, and yeah, we dealt with that very well. We nudge away, well worthy of winning the game at half time. Back end of the game, it becomes what it comes. How many times we sat here and said that that's the way it is at that moment? It's a default position, which is, can you hold it out? And we managed to do that, which puts us in that position.
And no surprise, Josh Brown, the man for the occasion again.
Yeah, I mean, look, if ever there was a man what would score the goals to get us to succeed and get us to the Premier League, it's Brownie really. He's been incredible for us this year. He's been immense, everything he's done. It was a blessing really that he popped up with the goals.
It feels a bit unfair to pick out individuals after today, but can I just mention Maxim Incredible and Hannibal today?
Incredible, yeah. I mean, Hannibal Incredible was probably a driving force in what we did in Maxi Steph really. That was a tough game for us. They loaded a top line with physicality really and put it in areas where we needed to deal with it on that back line. And Maxi was like an insurance policy, to be quite honest with you. He was an insurance policy what swept things up and was pretty pretty dominant really. And I think it's right. Look, I wouldn't want to highlight anyone because I think to a man, subs coming on as well played a massive part today. And as a group, every single one of them deserved this moment really.
Scott, just to put things in a bit of context, just go back to that first day when you walked in 10 months ago. Did you think, hand on heart, that promotion would be possible?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that was a really. I took a year out of work. I took a year out of work and was living abroad, and I decided to jump into this. And I'm thankful for the opportunity that I was given, for sure. But I came here with, first and foremost, looking at a group of players on a bit of paper. I didn't know their characters, but I looked at a group of players and a squad list on a bit of paper, and I believed that we could get promoted, and that was the sole aim. I took this job exactly that. So, and like I said, the journeys is the story. What's been created is there has been a journey, and it's a perfect story really, because to get to this point, there's always blips and there's ups and downs, and there's times when there was frustration. The fan base was frustrated, I was frustrated, the players were frustrated. At the start of the season, attacking wise, we wasn't great and we needed to improve that. And I think it's an incredible story for me to tell this group that is everything, because there is no smooth road in what we do and what anyone does really. There's always blips. It's how you come out of the other side of that, how you react to that. Every single time. That's why I'm so proud of this group really, and that's probably why at times I'm emotional about this group, because I've seen them, I've lived with them, I see them every single day. I see the moments when we was all down or certainly searching for things, but constantly their reaction has always been eyes and ears and looking to try and engage and work out how we can improve while the heat was coming on, and then outside noises were coming, and certainly in the world we live in now, that they're even more so. These players are living every day on their mobile phones, and they can see things what probably have an influence. But they were rock solid in that, and my words, and certainly how I tried to develop this group, as they've come out the other side of it.
I know the other week we spoke about maybe a plan A and a plan B, and you said I haven't even thought about next season. Now, from tomorrow morning, I guess, you can start thinking about next season.
Yeah, we'll probably start getting an eye on it. I think the most important thing is this has been one hard season, and we've committed, we've sacrificed every single one at the football club, and they absolutely deserve to enjoy tonight, relax and really take in this moment for what they've achieved really. So of course eyes will be on the weekend, and then eyes on the next game, because let's try and finish the season in the right way and try and win the league. But as quickly as that comes, no doubt we'll be looking at next year as well.
And how tough is it going to be next year? Because we've seen what's happened this season with the promoted teams.
Tough, yeah, for sure it'd be tough. And I think that's been proven over the course of the last few years really. So there's a massive challenge for us next year. There was a massive challenge this year which we managed to conquer. So let's give it a go.
Quiet drink tonight then. Quiet drink tonight? Quiet drink?
Quiet drink, yeah. Not sure it'll be quiet.
Scott, you mentioned, I think in TV you mentioned the Bruges experience for yourself. Obviously you took a year out before you came here, and did you feel you had a point to prove when you came here? Obviously it didn't work well for you there. It's one of the few failures in your career so far. Did you feel some sort of vindication from this season?
I don't feel quite had anything to prove, but no, I've been a manager now for 4 full seasons. For 4 full seasons, I've been a manager. 3 of them seasons I've got promoted, and 1 season I got relegated out of the Premier League. The other 2 seasons I lost my job at Bruges after 10 weeks, and I lost my job at Bournemouth after 4 games. I didn't think I had anything to prove, but I just needed to make sure it was the right place really. And from the minute I stepped in an interview room, and the people around that gave me a feeling, and that's how I like to work. I want to be around good people, and I'm just absolutely delighted that, not for me, I'm just delighted for this group really.
You've got 3 promotions now to the Premier League, like Daniel Fark for it, but how does this compare to your experience with Fulham and Bournemouth?
It's different. It's different mainly because I there's probably a bigger bond with the group. So that's why it feels different for me. I feel like I've tried to nurture a group together, try to educate, try to teach, and why it feels different is because I'm delighted that they've got to where they need to get to. There's some players here that have probably never experienced Premier League football. There's some players here at a young age who are just starting out their careers really, and I'm immensely proud that they've got to that position of where they've got to really. So yeah, that's probably the main thing.
That's about Sheffield United, if you don't mind. It's been quite a remarkable promotion race, hasn't it? How much have you sort of all pushed each other on?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's been jabbing away at each other, really, haven't we? There's been 3 teams that have been punching away, and all 3 of us. Sheffield probably the same. I don't know what points they'll probably end up this year. I don't even know what they're on at this present moment in time, but they're probably on a points tally, which really in any other year maybe will be justifiable to get promoted. And this year there's been 3 outstanding teams that have, 2 have managed to get that over the line really.
Would you back in the playoffs?
Yeah, they're a strong team. Yeah, and they got an incredible manager that knows his way around it, and yeah, absolutely no doubt that they'll be more than fine.
Cool. You mentioned the title still on the line. There's still sort of defensive records you might be able to break the season or extend. Party tonight, but how quickly do you want the players back in work?
Yeah, we'll recover really quick. Yeah, so we'll enjoy tonight. And then full focus on a tough game against QPR really. So I'm not going to mention that. That's the last thing I want to mention tonight, because I've seen the sacrifice and the commitment every single one of these, mate. They need some air, mate. They need some oxygen, and they deserve it. So I'll get them back to where they need to be at the weekend, hopefully.
Awesome, gents. How pleased were you able to do it here? Tomorrow?
Yeah, I think that's probably key. To be honest with you, there was to do it in front of our home fans, to celebrate in front of our home fans was key, really, and obviously a different result tonight, a draw or obviously a win would have took it a little bit further down the line, where that maybe had been the option for us. So delighted that the fans could share that. I thought they were incredible tonight. It drove every bit. I'm pleased that the long season which has been that they can celebrate in front of us.